Alright, so let's go over today's practice test. Number one, rate of change means the same as, and in this case it's going to be slope. Rate of change and slope are words that can be interchanged for each other. Alright, number two, find the rate of change for each graph below. And in a way I tried to give you a hint to the answer of number one, because I've asked you to find the rate of change and I've asked you to answer it as m equals. And as you know, m stands for slope. So the answer is kind of helping you out with number one. So what I want you to do is start with your leftmost point. So start from your left and work your way towards the right. So this is the point that's closest to the left. And you want to ask yourself, do I go up or down to get to the other good point? In this case, it's up 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So up 4 is positive. And then the run would be 1 to the right. And it's positive because it went to the right. So 4 over 1, which is 4. That is the slope. This problem here in the middle, start at my left dot. In this case, I've got to go down. So that's going to be negative 1, 2. So I went down 2, that's going to be my numerator, and right 1 place. Or sorry, right 2 places, excuse me. So negative 2 over 2, that will simplify into a negative 1. So the slope for this problem is negative 1, because that simplifies into negative 1. Alright, on the right here, we don't have any points. We have to use our own. We have to create our own points. So you want to use good points. They're going to be intersections where the function crosses at an intersection. So these are good points. Ones I would not want to use would be like this one right here. It crosses in the middle of a line. That's not a good point. You wouldn't want to use that one. So all of these would be considered good points. You can use any 2 of those. They'll all simplify to the same fraction. So if I start here and I work my way towards this point, so I'm just going to remove these extra points. So from here I would go up 1, so that would be positive 1, and right 2 places, so that would be 1/2. If I chose some other points, let's say I saw this point and this point. So up 1, 2, 3, so that would be up 3, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be 3, 6, which also simplifies into 1/2. So no matter which 2 good points you pick, they're all going to simplify into 1/2. All right. That 4 there. Alright, problem number 3 and 4 are problems where we need to illustrate with a proportion. So 5 Happy Meals is $15. So I've got Happy Meals, so I'm going to call those HM, and I've got money. So in this case, I've got 5 Happy Meals for $15, and I'm setting up my proportion. It wants to know what the unit rate is. Unit rate means per one item. So per 1 Happy Meal. So Happy Meals are on top, so my 1 goes on top. And how much money would that be? That's my unknown, or my variable. So 5 times x is 5x. 15 times 1 is 15. So when I cross multiply, I get 5x equals 15. We divide both sides by 5, and x equals 3. So in this case, the unit rate is $3. Alright, problem number 4. 4 notebooks cost $5. So I'm going to have 4 notebooks, I can call those NB, is $5. So on the bottom I've got dollars. Equals. So I've got 7 notebooks here in the rest of the sentence. 7 notebooks. I see that I've got notebooks on top, so that's where my 7 is going to go. X on the bottom. 4 times x is 4x. 5 times 7, because we're cross multiplying, 35. And we got to divide both sides by 4. X equals 8.75. So cost would be $8.75. All right. Number 5. Number 5 is going to be another unit rate problem. Sarah earned $45 for working 5 hours, and Cameron earned $78 for working 9 hours. Who makes more per hour? So although these can be set up as proportions, they'd be 2 separate proportions to find the unit rate. I'm going to let you kind of skip a little bit of the work and just go straight to it. You can figure out $45 for 5 hours. You simply divide dollars by hours. And in this case, 45 divided by 5, we find that that's going to be $9 per hour. So Sarah is going to make $9 per hour. And if we look at Cameron's money, his earnings were 78 over 9 hours, so 78 divided by 9, that's going to be and 6, it's going to be 8.6 repeating, but since it's money, we're going to go ahead and round that to 8.67. So we find that Cameron earned $8.67 per hour. Well, who earned more per hour? Sarah. All right, 6. Barnes & Noble is having a sale. Books are $6 each with a flat fee of $9 for shipping. How much would it cost to get 5 books shipped? So you got your 5 books times $6 a piece. That would make $30 for the books. And then you add in the $9 for shipping. It's a flat fee, so it doesn't matter how many books you buy. It's going to be $9 for shipping for a grand total of $39. Now, we can make an equation out of this. And the equation would be in slope-intercept form, so the y equals mx plus b. And so we know it's going to start with y equals. The next thing is our slope. Slope always uses the word per. It's per something. It can happen multiple times. In this case, it's the per book fee. And we know from the sentence that it was $6 per book. So that slope is going to be 6. X is going to indicate that it is the slope. So the grand total is going to equal $6 per book plus the y-intercept is the amount, the initial amount, and in this case it's the shipping, the flat fee. So it's going to be plus 9. So you got the grand total equals 6 times the books plus $9 to ship it. So that is your equation. All right, let me erase. Number 7, which graph represents a direct proportion? And remember, in some books, this is going to be called a direct variation. Direct proportion or direct variation, depending on the book you're reading from. So a direct proportion says that the function must start at or go through the origin. So it must start at or go through the 0 point. And you can see in example C, or choice C, it starts at 0. Choice B starts at 20. Choice A also starts at 20. So choice A and choice B are eliminated. Choice C is the direct proportion or direct variation because it starts at 0. And it is a linear function. So choice C. All right, scroll up. Number 8, what is the initial value or starting point of the limo rental? Well, we can see right here it's $50 because it says total cost in dollars. All right, so we've got $50. Oh, sorry, put that in the wrong spot. $50. All right, does it represent a direct proportion? No, it does not. Okay, it does not start at the 0. So explain your answer. The reason this is not a direct proportion, you can simply say it is not a direct proportion because the function does not start at the origin. And that's all we need for that. It doesn't start at the origin, it's not a direct proportion.